Will I surrender to God, Allah, the Creator? When will this happen? I hope in this life soon. You are in Germany, and if you ask me, when will I be in Germany? What would I say? Come on, wake up, see, you are in Germany. You have no choice. When will I remember that I had to take my car key? Does this question have any meaning? You have already remembered car key. That's what you wanted to remember. In the very question is hidden the answer. The moment you say Allah, you have already remembered Allah. The moment you have remembered, you have already surrendered to Him. There is no gap between remembering and surrendering. What is that you have to surrender? Is there anything that Allah doesn't have that you have to give Him? If you think so, you are in illusion. Because everything belongs to Allah, including you. Everything belongs to the Creator. You call God the Creator. If He has created you, you belong to Him. You are part of Him, aren't you? Does not the painting belong to the painter? A painter makes a painting, doesn't it belong to him? He already owns. Every moment he is painting, he owns it. So if the painting says, I want to surrender to the painter would smile like, come on, keep quiet, don't blabber. I only created you the way I wanted it. You are part of me. Well, for your own satisfaction, you can say, God, I want to surrender to you. Instead of saying, I want to surrender to you, you just say, God, I am surrendered to you, I am yours. Because surrender is not an action. Love is not an action. Love is state of existence. Gratitude is not an action. Gratitude is a state of feeling, state of being. And gratitude comes up, action may follow that. When you are surrendered to God, your action in this world will be so benevolent to everybody. It will not cause harm to anyone. It is a natural outcome. Action is not surrender. Action follows surrender. Love is not action, but action definitely follows love. If you say, I love kids very much, you will not just keep quiet, you do something for the kids. If you say, I love the nation, I love the world, you will not simply keep quiet, you will do something to the world. So that doing something is not love. But love makes you do, that is obvious. Surrender is what you are, your state. Prayer is its reflection. So don't wait for some day for this something to happen to you. Right now sit in silence and know in that stillness you are part of God. You are part and parcel of God. And God surrounds you from all sides. Everywhere He is there. He, she, it, you can call it in any name. There is a big confusion. Who is God? Who is God? Is it a person? Who is God? What is God? What is the qualification of God? Said God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. Three qualifications. What? God knows everything. He is everywhere. Omnipresent, everywhere. Omnipotent, all powerful, and all knowing. Right? Three qualifications. In the most ancient of the scriptures of this planet Earth, the Vedas say in a simple way, Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, it is existence. Chit, it is conscious. And it is bliss. Three qualifications. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Bliss. And because God does not have a gender, He can be addressed he, she or it. When I say there is magnetic field all around you, you don't call the magnetic field he or she, you call it. There is electromagnetic field all around us. Right? There is air all around us. Inside you, outside of you, there is air. Is air he, she? No, you call it it. Similarly, God is permeating everywhere, but it is not just inanimate object like air or electromagnetic field. It is lively. Consciousness, it's the mind. Though ancient people said, so you can call it he, she or it. Like our physical body is surrounded by consciousness, the mind. Small mind. It is the mind that you speak to, right? You don't talk to a corpse. A corpse is where the mind or spirit is gone. A dead body. But in the body, if the spirit is there, you address the spirit by all names. All your interaction is with the spirit in the body. But the gender is for the body or the spirit. The gender is only to the body. You look at the body and say this is a man or this is a woman. You don't look at the mind of a person and call this is a man or a woman. Are you with me what I am saying? This is more subtle. So many minds feel that they are in a wrong body. That's why they go for gender change operations. Because the mind is so associated with the opposite gender and the present gender of the body, the mind feels uncomfortable. So a man or woman who seemingly man or woman, that mind in that body, they feel that the body is not fit for the mind, for the spirit. It is just an imbalance, a spiritual imbalance. If they meditate, if they understand the spirit is different from the body, this whole thing disappears. This discomfort about the body, I'm being in a wrong body at the wrong time, will disappear. Because you see, body is like the wig for the mind to be, the spirit to be. Like we all have minds, every individual here sitting, everybody has a small mind. Just imagine all these small minds united and is part of a big mind. That big mind is God. Like in your body, there are billions of cells. They all have their own life. Every cell is born and stays for some time and dies. In 1 year, all the cells in your body has died and new cells have come. Every year. And each one of these cells in your body has its mind. All of them put together is your mind. Media, small mind. And these many small minds put together is cosmic mind. That the ancient people called the Purusha. And God is even bigger than that Purusha, the collective conscious, the big mind, huge, bigger than that they called it. Parama Purusha, the divine conscious energy or Brahman in which everything is. Every individual is just like a wave rising in the ocean. And every wave is part of the ocean. Does wave have any existence outside ocean? No way. No chance. Can the wave feel it is separate from the ocean? If it feels, it is ignorant. When the wave realizes, hey, I am just part of the ocean rising with this name and form, then the ocean finds the depth. That is the very purpose. Every wave wants to realize it is part of the ocean. That completes, isn't it? See, in the whole cycle, the ocean becomes clouds, clouds become rain, rain becomes river, river becomes ocean, ocean. Again, this entire cycle, how the water moves in the universe. With what purpose? Why do water have to go up and again come down as river? It sounds absurd. Why should water evaporate, go up in clouds, again fall on the mountain? Okay, let it remain on the clouds. It falls on the mountains, then runs as river. Why should it run down and reach the ocean? Again from ocean it goes up. It's a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita. It says, Avyaktadhini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidanani tatraka parivedana. Life moves from unmanifest to manifest to unmanifest. And it continues, it's a cycle. Before this birth, remember, recollect if you possible, where were you, what were you, who were you? You don't even remember you were born. Suddenly you find yourself doing all this and suddenly you will find yourself exiting this body. So the spirit moves into the body and exits out of the body, and this cycle happens. Just like you don't even know that new cells are born in your body and many cells are dying out. Every day you take shower, you are attending to the funeral of many cells in your body. Many cells in your body are getting washed out. And you put all that pack, mud pack or face pack, and so many dead cells are being sent out on the other side. Into the cosmos, they go back to the cosmos. In your intestine, there are 50,000 types of bacteria living. You know, your body is like a city. Really? That's why I say this universe is unfathomable. There are layer inside the layer inside the layer. And number of level of existence. They're called lokas, worlds. There is a world inside the world and inside the world. It's like the reflective image between two parallel mirrors. You can find infinite number of images. That many worlds are present right here. The ancient scriptures say there are infinite worlds, not just this one world. So they call a human being Purusha. Purusha means a city, one who lives in a township. So your body is a township. And the spirit that lives in this body is called Purusha, one who lives in the township. When you go into this knowledge, you'll be startled, wonderstruck. No one can escape this. They'll be wonderstruck in the way the words are coined, the way that they understood the depth of consciousness of human being, of mind, of universe. It's amazing. We often read in the history textbooks, Galileo found out that Earth is going round the sun. It is absurd. Thousands of years back, it was already said. You go to any temple in India, they keep the sun in the center. And they put all the planets all around the sun. Thousands of years they said the earth is spherical. The earth itself is called Bhugola. Gola means sphere. The sphere called earth. And Khagola, the universe which is also spherical. And said number of universes are there. And they collide with each other. They go near, they go farther away from each other. And they all exist in the space. The dark energy, dark matter, what the scientists call today. Those days they call the primordial existence. Shiva Tattva, I call it Shiva Tattva. God is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. And He is in your heart. Why we say in your heart? When your mind becomes quiet, you go into your heart, you are able to know it. You are able to realize. That's why Jesus said, love is God. Because only in love can you ever realize what God is. So, love is God. And God is love. The ancient rishis, they said, Asti Bhati Priti. He is existence. Bhati, he shines or he is conscious. Priti, he is love. Whether you are conscious or not, you are breathing, right? In this world, there are billions of people who do not pay any attention to breath. Still, are they breathing or not? They are. In the same way, whether you realize it or not, you are in God. And when you realize, when you breathe, when you become aware of your breath, there is certain joy. There is certain freedom. There is certain wisdom that flows in life. And that's exactly what happens. So instead of asking, when will I surrender to God or Allah, I am surrendered to Him already now. Don't make it a next 5-year plan. No 5-year plan of any government gets completed. They don't. They claim, make promises, but they never do it. I tell you, assume. And move on. Okay? Good.